Hey guys, be ready in just a few minutes. AR, why don't we see if they can hear you or not?
I hope you can hear me, because we
They
may
can.
not be here long.
Yeah. Uh, Dev, why don't you say a few words and we can see if they can hear you?
Somehow I did not get electrocuted, so woohoo.
Good Christmas for you then.
It's the month is still young.
Oh yeah, I'm fully aware.
It's not. We're not through December yet. Let's.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. We'll wait so they confirm they can hear us.
Mr. Electricity Miser still might be on his way.
Ah man,
I just want the stove to work.
it's just that part of the year where stuff will just not work just to be inconvenient. Okay, you guys ready to go? Theoretically.
Yeah.
Eh.
Welcome to the With the Will podcast. We're here to entertain, inform a bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark, a run with the Will and produce Digimon on Blu-ray.
I'm AR Pulver, and I, for one, welcome our cat overlords.
I am Dev Q and
But let's talk about technical issues, shall we?
let's last time on Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. So last time it cuts out, and in between work doing the research, it's like, okay, it's a driver issue. I see other people having similar issues. I know when the last good driver is. Based on all this, I shall go and install that driver, which I did. And then, throughout the day, I'm setting up the podcast in OBS to go. And then, as I'm opening the window for the last time to actually let it go, the OBS just decides to just completely freeze every time through reboots and everything. I even quickly reinstalled the driver as a clean installation, which I'm sure I will regret that later, trying to remember various settings.
Snow Miser.
Still doesn't do anything. So then I do the last thing possible. I turn off the hardware accelerated, Windows drawing the windows on screen using a video card rather than in software. Reboot it. So it's at least going for now. So we will see what happens there.
There's more riveting episodic drama with this podcast than there is in Ghost Game.
Which says something. So,
It's
At
a
least
low
there are
bar.
days.
so if it crashes out, we will finish offline. Hopefully, this will at least work through this, and then we'll figure it out.
Y'all should be used to this by now.
I mean, we could have you stream the show.
You don't want to do that.
I don't,
I'm on a
but but
I'm
I
on a I'm
but
on a laptop.
but I'm willing to do it just out of spite.
I'm on a Galaxy 9.
Also, I don't have OBS installed yet. It feels inevitable that's going to happen one of these
Yeah,
days.
at
But
least there's gonna end up being one point when someone other than me is gonna end up having to stream it. But we shall see.
my 6-year-old wants to get into Twitch streaming.
Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah, I don't know what comment to make there. Minus, I don't.
We're
know.
not.
Yeah.
You can make
How
him think that he is.
how has everybody's week been?
It's all right.
Fucking
It's fine.
terrible.
I'm tired.
I no longer have any 5-day weeks until the second week in January.
Yeah.
So.
And we should mention we will not be recording Monday next week. AR has something.
I have a thing.
Yeah, we were going to do Tuesday, but now my Sunday's opened up, so we may do that. We will let you guys know.
I have no preference either way.
How does everyone feel about the new episode of Ghost Game, which exists and is in fact an episode of some sort?
Meow.
Wow.
That sounds all right.
Meow.
Wow.
Yeah, the shows entered the most classic rut of all. Now we're actually just cycling through the characters, getting like generic importance in episodes.
But it's got cats, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
it's
care about
cats.
anything else. That was the kitty.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the cats.
Yeah. So we see a girl sleeping. We see her reflection in the eye of not a button eye. What are those called?
Cat's eyes.
like a fish eye.
Yeah, basically. And then she gets out of bed, stands on the edge of the balcony banister, and begins to walk around it while still asleep, jumps to the next building, and we get to see a cat behind her meowing and puppeting her around.
Very aggressive puppeting too.
Yeah,
This seems to take a lot of work
yeah.
there to
And then the girl wakes
manipulate.
You have a cat? They're just kind of like that.
the
Yeah, it's fair.
I had to walk the dogs in like 30-degree weather in just a sweatshirt because the cat was sleeping on my coat and I couldn't move her.
Mhm. Mhm.
then the girl wakes up, realizes she's very far up on a billboard. The cat makes a noise, and then it cuts to Hiro cutting his nail, musing that everyone seems to be away.
I do appreciate that they did mention at some point in the episode that they had to call the fire station to get her down, fire truck to get her
Yeah, it
down.
was one of the news thingies, I think.
Yeah, that was just a
Yeah.
nice bit. That was a nice touch.
Then we see Fukatsu and a few other people feeding cats some milk. Gamamon and Espimon arrive as they want to do. They
They're
ask
forced to suffer through.
they ask them to keep the cat secret from Kiyoshiro because no animals allowed. Which is it. Which is it. You think they would make some sort of joke about them not being animals since they're quote unquote holograms?
He's a hologram.
Yeah.
It's
The show
fine.
the show
You could
isn't
just
even
say that the cats
Holo-
are
the
holograms.
show isn't even
Holograms are clearly less dangerous.
the show isn't even interested in like following up on its own shtick at this point. And then Kiyoshiro does the classic walk in at the exact moment, and he tries to shoo the cats away. And interestingly, he's not that happy about doing it himself.
No, nobody. That's the amazing thing about this episode. Nobody in this episode actually dislikes
No
cats.
one actually wrongs the cats in any
Yeah,
way.
nobody is wronging the cats.
Yeah.
The cats are perceived to be slighted because they're
Yes.
cats.
And then that night, the cats are having a meeting run by Bastamon. They talk about needing to train the people. She does a Bastamon dance and infects the cats. They get split tails, can stand up on hind legs, looking all evil with red eyes. It's like, wow, they really had to go to like real lengths to try to make the cats seem menacing. When it feels
Cats are
like
just like that.
it almost would have been creepier if they didn't do that at all.
Just have the most adorable shots of them
Yeah. Um,
controlling people.
and then Kiyoshiro sleepwalks in a construction zone, being puppeted. And then
Yeah.
this is where like Bastamon like randomly is like wanting to make them do cat stuff. It's like cats are superior at this thing. Jumps off, but they're all able to actually do the cat stuff when they're hypnotized, like him running up the beam vertically.
It's the most dexterity he's shown all show.
Yeah, that's a weird one. And then he falls, but like, so he like lands on a beam or something. I don't understand how he survived.
Cats land on their
He's
feet.
durable.
I guess, but and then we get Angoramon flying around. Here's a girl calling for help on top of a Ferris wheel. She falls back asleep, and then that's where like they had to find a way to get Angoramon there. So it's like she wakes up, but
And
then she instantly falls asleep again. Jumping between the gondolas, he jumps and grabs her before she hits the ground to sleep again. And Bastamon's not happy with this interference.
it's like, oh, I wanted to see
Yeah.
him go splat.
And now we get a classic Kiyoshiro thing. He locks himself in his room.
You blame him though.
And he tells her, and he's like just yelling for Jellymon just to quit her new business and just hurry home. And then all of a sudden, Espimon decides he has a personality as he imitates Kiyoshiro, which is a bit odd.
I mean, riffing on Kiyoshiro is
Yeah.
not that difficult, nor a sign of a
No.
personality. That's just the expectation. I'm surprised Kataro hasn't done it yet.
And then Ruli notes
Probably because he has to live with him.
there's news stories about similar things. And for some reason, apparently, Angoramon did not mention the Ferris wheel prior to this. Like, they're having a meeting about this, and Angoramon apparently didn't say a thing.
Maybe this is just like a normal thing to happen to Angoramon on his like
Just-
nightly walks.
He saves someone off a Ferris wheel every day. It's not really worth noting at this point.
And then they're feeding the cats again, and one attacks Gamamon. And then another cat meeting.
Catvention.
Yeah. So we get Hiro asleep, Gamamon on top of him, a cat appears. Gamamon leaves, he wakes up Hiro, Shiro also leaves, and we get Hiro then leaving on his own, which wakes up. There's multi layers of sleeping and waking up here. This would actually be a good place to have a cat that wakes up and gets upset.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone accidentally steps on a cat, which is usually the way to draw their ire.
Yeah, there is at no point does anyone actually do anything to a cat.
Mm-mm.
The
Yeah,
not
and everyone is
like
just
you
cuddling the cats or feeding them or petting them.
You have to understand that's not a criticism. That is an observation.
No, yes, that's an
Just-
observation.
yeah.
You expect
There's nothing wrong with that because
You
that's who cats be.
you expect there to be some plot misunderstanding, like they wouldn't give the cat extra milk,
No,
or they
no,
wouldn't give the
no.
cat meat
You
off
kick
the
me
table.
You kick
Yeah.
me at like the football.
Yeah,
And-
no. That's
yeah.
not how cats
And then
operate. Cats will do this with
then-
for any reason.
Gamamon and Kyoshiro sleepwalking. Hiro's following. Bastamon finds Hiro as he calls Ruli. And Bastamon is actually shocked that a human knows about Digimon.
Yeah. Okay.
She controls him and does the puppeting, but he's awake the whole time.
Well,
And
she's
then-
special. They
and
don't let
then-
you sleep.
I actually like Jellymon arriving, just being confused at what the fuck's going on.
Just arrives with produce. Like, what the hell?
And then everyone else arrives, and Jellymon's just like, follow them. And then it's a pet cemetery.
Yep,
Yay!
And then everyone's bowing to Bastamon. She's like,
as they should.
we're going to start the selection process. You have to pose like a cat. Bastamon just starts rambling about cat shit, which,
I did not know humans were capable of loafing like a cat.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, no, a few of them were kicked out because they weren't able to.
Well, some were able to, and
True.
I'm really impressed by that because
I
I
would
kind of
pass all these tests.
Then the old guy can't sit.
I tried, I failed.
I succeeded.
My cat was modeling perfect for me Saturday night, and I tried. It's like, nope, I can't
then-
do this.
Bastamon having people run into the monument, which is weird because Kiyoshiro was able to do that shit when he was forced to. And then Gamamon slips through the bars accidentally, but he whacks a few cats. And
Not
then
helping.
Then more people digging holes. The flying team's just flying above, gathering information rather than being helpful. And Jellymon wants to know if cats have a weakness. And they think of something. Then they start burying people alive, as cats would do if they could. And
yeah,
then,
that's sure.
and
yeah.
then,
Well, normally they would just smother you to death.
and then Celery arrives. That's not one I was aware of personally. So at first I was very
I've
confused.
seen a couple of memes, but
What's the Onion article? Kitten thinks of nothing but murder all day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
And they're
that comes to mind.
Yeah, and they're like, various plants can act similar to Silvervine, an alternative to catnip. The Digimon were growing the food, which was what Jellymon's new thing was doing a vegetable growing.
Awfully convenient.
And of course brought by Airdramon, who we have not seen in a while.
It's good. I was afraid that Ryudamon was going to take that job over, and
Celery does not affect Bastamon, which good to know. But all the cats slowly
I don't know.
start.
Is it like catnip, where it's only like a certain percentage of cats
I
that are
have
affected
no
by it?
idea. I'm not.
I've never heard of the celery onion olives thing.
Neither, yeah, I was
expecting it to be catnip since it's a little more ubiquitous.
I was expecting catnip to be thrown, and it's like oh, they're probably growing some plant that's catnip, and then I see celery, and I was like, huh?
Yeah.
And then Ruli activates a digital field, and it's just them and Bastamon because the people and the cats were returned to normal. And then
spell thanks to this celery.
And then I have to say, I didn't think you could actually commodify warp evolution. God damn, this episode, like, holy shit. And Goromon warps to Lamortmon. Bastamon dances and dodges, drains him and controls him. And then we quickly get Gamamon warping and then Jellymon warping.
All these episodes where we've been complaining about them going to
They
adult
found a way
first
to
and then
ruin
getting
it.
and it's like, okay, they're doing what we asked them to. They're going straight to
but
Warp
they
Evolution, and they immediately get their asses kicked.
They found a way to actually ruin going to Warp Evolution, which is
ruined
impressive.
it the first time they did it. They're 0 for 1.
Yeah. And then, like, Lamortmon doesn't recognize much of anyone. Airdramon and Espimon start attacking, but get reflected on. Thetismon misses an attack, gets nabbed, starts being absorbed, and then
This is the only new thing. This Warp Evolution is the only new thing this episode presents it, and it does it this poorly.
And she's like, I made Silvervine inside my body because I can make potions and stuff. And now
and just happens to know that Silvervine is a cat's weakness. That's impressive knowledge that you'd be surprised at from anyone other than Angoramon.
Especially since she didn't know what about it just a few minutes ago.
Does she even know what cats are?
I would assume so. She had to have run into a cat at some point.
I mean, she probably would have thought about having a cat cafe if she thought that would have made her money.
Probably.
And then,
cat army.
And then, God bless Bastamon's responses. I'm just gonna fucking do it again. And Can of Iceball just like zap, 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 zap. And then she's drunk on Silvervine, asleep. The cat, all the people have. God bless the Buffy the Vampire Doctor Who type plot. Oh, we were just having a nightmare and happened to wake up exactly where the nightmare was. But my cat's normal, so I'm happy and I'm going to ignore what just happened.
I mean, if it was Doctor Who, that would explain the celery.
Oh, that's fucking horrible. But accurate.
Old school. It's old school.
And then Bastamon's like, there's no hope for the cats of this world. And Jellymon notes that basically people do what cats want anyways. It wasn't really, like, necessary to...
Yeah.
Whatever. And
it's like Bastamon, bitch, you're in Japan, the country that invented cat cafes and has an entire island where tourism is going and looking at cats. Japan fucking loves cats.
Yeah. You can perceive things however you want. The cats are always in charge.
And Bastamon's like, she'll admit defeat and accept the world as it is, and maybe she'll be able to find a partner like them, or a cat owner has it a cat.
Oh, where's that one guy who had the make crack mom?
And then we
I think he'd be in line for that.
And then we get like.
Are you sure he was kind of traumatized the last time?
He didn't turn it down at first.
We get like the worst 3-second thing ever, like the a white Digimon. Like, okay, now white's the special color. They were doing it for black for 2 or 3 episodes. Yeah. And then Angoramon pontificates. Kiyoshiro found people to watch the stray cats, and they thank Kiyoshiro. Kiyoshiro somehow ended up being the hero of the episode.
He does that from time to time. He contributes absolutely nothing and comes out the hero. That's like the second straight Kiyoshiro episode where that's happened.
Yeah.
He has random trivia.
And then Study Files is Bastamon, as you would expect. That was a really meh episode.
That's an episode where everything is perfectly enjoyable except for the fact that it's Digimon. Like, you take all the Digimon stuff that you come to expect in a Digimon episode, you dismiss any expectations of that. This episode's totally fine. But you try to propose it as a Digimon episode, and it's really eh.
It's really it really is impressive just how poorly they did Warp Evolution.
It's amazingly how bad that was.
Like, especially since it's not like they were new. We know what all 3 of those Warp Evolutions are at this point, so that they can actually show them to us in a way that's fucking horrifyingly terrible.
This feels like it would be a great episode, maybe not Bastamon, but another villain that actually requires a little bit of attention for the big 3-way Warp Evolution, and they all collectively just triumphantly kick its ass.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what we need that.
But like, you need
and
that.
We got this.
You need that. You need loud, boisterous music. I cannot even tell you if they played the insert song during any of those.
The insert song was hiding in this episode. It was too embarrassed.
Everything is just a blur.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
cats, so
Yeah, exactly.
it's
Bastamon
cats, so
was
it's
animated very prettily, so
Although
that's all.
it's still got a C grade because C is for cat.
although I am always very happy when I only have to look up information on one person. Hitomi,
You're not gonna look up who did all the cat noises?
I absolutely not.
They did it
I
very
don't even
badly.
know if they were credited, to be honest.
Where they were, they sucked.
Hitomi Nabetama is Bastamon in her first Digimon appearance. Lots and lots of roles. Card Fight Vanguard, Fruits Basket, Doki Doki Pretty Cure. Just huge list.
Who was she in Fruits Basket?
Mayuko
Okay, not Kyo. Okay.
in all the reboot stuff. Squid Girl. School Rumble was what I was. School Rumble's good.
Who's she in School Rumble?
Mikoto.
I don't remember who that is.
If I remember
There's way too many characters in School Rumble. Never mind.
School Rumble is the type of show where more characters appear. It's the Karate Girl, I believe.
Okay.
You still don't remember who Karate Girl is.
That only kind of narrows it down. There's like 3 of them.
Okay, but we get a few dubbed over roles. Johanna in Hunger Games stuff. She was the mom in Transformers Prime, and she was Windblade in the 2015 version of Transformers Robots in Disguise.
I keep forgetting to watch that.
The 2015 Transformers Robots in Disguise?
Yes.
I don't remember.
Or was that the one that sucked?
That was the one that was, if I'm right, that's the one that was the sequel to Transformers Prime, but it's like Bumblebee and a motley crew, and then they bring Prime back to life after killing him off in the prior show in the finale. I think Grimlock talks normal.
Oh, that's disappointing.
My understanding is it's supposed to be a decent show for kids. It's decent enough. It's just weird because the one prior to it was like the all-age, everyone gets to enjoy it show. So yeah. The next time we get Impurity, episode 56, and look, we have guide data. And
OCD, apparently.
yeah,
I used to not like the guide data, but for Ghost Game, it's just fine because we're not expecting anything to happen.
We're not. Anytime these get posted, the number of guesses for Galoot.
You shouldn't expect anything to happen.
Literally every time guide data is up, Galoot is going to show up in this episode. This episode says it has Espimon in it. He's clearly going to evolve into Hover Espimon. That is the way it works. It's hasn't worked that way so far. But we will see. January 1st is our hiatus. So looks like Dev and AR will have some discs to watch.
Woohoo!
I suppose.
Yeah. I will say the one that I'm looking most forward to, whether they do it correctly or not, is episode 58, because that is a plot that is done so much in old US cartoons.
Yeah.
I remember Extreme Ghostbusters doing it really well.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I don't know. I'm not anticipating anything.
I'm not saying. No, I'm looking forward to it, whether it's good or bad, because it is.
That's an episode style that you just like the Western frenetic. Everybody's splitting up and getting into really crazy Inspector Gadget adventures. That's the kind of format you want from that, and Ghost Game just doesn't really deliver that kind of antics.
I still have hope that we will get an antics episode. Which, ironically, is one of the rare things that I think most people liked when Adventure 2020 did it, was the episode where it just falls into doing antics.
Like the Edamon Volcamon episode, like that one?
Most of the Mimi episodes, to be honest. But yes, that was a good one.
Yeah, that one particularly was really good. Funny.
We will see. And then, God bless Clear Files and them giving them away. I like that they're using that art. It really didn't make sense that it was just going to be thrown on social media and never used, when they're doing the weirdly show accurate art and they're making it shaded really nice. It's like, they're gonna throw it on clear files. They're giving away cram schools.
That is good art for a clear file. I would like that.
Yeah, which they're giving away for free at cram schools in a handful of locations.
Sadly, I do not attend cram school in Japan.
Yeah, I will say, if you're in Kanto and Kansai, there's a decent chance you'll find it. Those are basically outside of those two prefectures, there's 4 locations. If you're in Kanto, it's 436 locations will have it. So that is 90% of them is in Kanto. And then,
As you do.
yeah. Oh no, absolutely. And then the Ghost Game. Here's what bothers me. Were you more excited by this than by Ghost Game itself?
I was, and then I read through it, and it's like, oh, this is okay.
It's pretty standard. I think the most exciting thing is the early art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We get to see like the early hero design. We get to see him looking a bit younger, goggles. The explanation as to how they got his hair, which was basically Tai Chi haircut and then cut it straight.
Tai Chi with a bad hair day.
Yeah. And then we get Ruli sighing herself having been forced to watch Ghost Game.
I forgot that was the direction they wanted to go with Rudy originally. And they kind of forgot about that and made her, I think, more interesting. But
And then Kiyoshio's arm. Also, someone pointed something out that I need to go back and check. They said that at one point he wasn't wearing his arm thing. I think it was last week or the week before. Like, he just didn't have it on.
It would be funny if he occasionally switches which hand is bandaged.
I could swear that at least once it was on the wrong hand.
I feel like that's right. Maybe he didn't have it on with he was like in the state against Balmon.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm willing to just believe that happened. And then, oh man, do you like how, like, what's the explanation for the ear? Well, it felt like it'd be a interesting design quirk. It's basically just meant to be like a hair highlight.
Yeah.
And at one point, it was going to be stars. The weird thing is, I feel like the star one would actually connect him to Gamamon better than just aging.
Yeah.
It would. I mean, considering all the star references in the Digimon names.
Yeah. Instead, we get an M, which makes you think of Homer Simpson's hair. Like, the various star ones, like, those would have actually been clever to... Although, here's the thing. If there's actually no importance, not having a connection may be better.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But yeah. And then we got a few basic questions from him. It's nice stuff. It's not wild, because a lot of it he kind of did clarify a year ago. It's just nice to get it kind of all in one place, if that makes sense.
It's fun.
And then, talking about anime that isn't good, it's the 16th anniversary of the Savers movie.
I still have a soft spot for the Savers movie.
I mean, I love Lallamon going batshit with sausage nunchucks.
It's iconic.
No, here's the thing. You can have a soft spot for something that's terrible. I like the old movie Masterminds, where you have the kid trying to beat up Patrick Stewart in a school. But it's not a good movie.
But it doesn't involve Lallamon with sausage nunchucks. I bet that movie would be better if it had Lallamon with sausage nunchucks.
I think someone does have nunchucks in that movie.
But are they sausages, and is it wielded by Lallamon?
It's possible. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Okay.
I'm not willing to say no for a fact. I expect the answer is no, though. Especially since it was like 1996.
Someone please draw fan art of Lallamon fighting Patrick Stewart with sausage nunchucks.
No, while I agree with that, there's an asterisk. It has to be Patrick Stewart with the horrible fucking mustache they made him use in that movie. In fact, I'm pulling that up because
my brain just kind of like screeched to a halt trying to imagine him with any kind of hair whatsoever, and it went no.
Yeah,
that was a whole thing with his audition, wasn't it?
With hair, yes.
Oh God,
no.
Does he? He looks like he wants pictures of Spider-Man.
Yes. But yes, that is Patrick Stewart for that whole movie. Basically, it is Die Hard with a teenager, and he's Hans Gruber. And it is as terrible as you would imagine based on that picture of Patrick Stewart. I have to
Oh.
Yeah,
stress that.
that's Jonah Jameson. You're not gonna convince me otherwise.
Get me photos of Spider-Man.
J.K. Simmons is suing right now.
Yes. And then at one point I wasn't gonna post this until people started messaging me about it. I'm like, I better do it just so it doesn't confuse people. Crunchyroll announced that on December 22nd they're gonna put up Digimon Adventure Try.
That gave me pause for a moment too, and then you realize, oh, actually, this is semi-notable.
Crunchyroll had it day one, and part of having it day one was they were given an episodic cut by Toei, so that, as far as we know, it's basically so Toei can say, well, the uncut movies have never been distributed in the West. That way they don't lose the value, even though there's no real, like, there's some timing differences, but it's the same.
It's
So
pretty much the
Put an
same.
opening and ending.
So
It is a different. It is a slightly different experience without having those interruptions.
yes. So the 6 movies subbed and dubbed will go up in they did not clarify the regions. I feel bad for the UK. People are like, is Digimon Adventure Try finally going to stream in the UK? They got discs, but they didn't get streaming this time, so we will see.
Rip.
Yeah. Based on the various other films that were announced at the same time, I assume this was a deal with whoever distributes for Shout, which oddly I think is New Video. I think they do the online distribution for Shout.
So anyway, you can watch the dubs now, which is cool.
Yeah.
Like I said, other than I said this on tweeted this, other than some of the weird continuity hiccups with the dub that we've addressed, the dub is actually probably the best way to watch it because you process a lot more.
Yes.
You just have to watch out for the really obvious wrong stuff.
Yes. That's where you need Nimoy in the room.
Yeah. You just need to have that one consultant to go, no, TK's mom didn't remarry.
Yes. I can understand that mistake, minus that you should have had someone in the room to be able to say no.
Yeah. I mean, that's just such a stretch. Like, that's not necessarily a thing. Like my sister-in-law has that same arrangement. Yeah.
And then Vital Bracelet, they're doing their first battle event in the new app on Christmas. For a lot of us, that's going to be a mix between the 24th and 25th. I love the tiny text and tiny logos going, it's a Vital Bracelet BE event. Cough, cough, we're also doing them for the other 2.
Yay.
Which is why the logos for the old Vital Bracelet and the Vital Hero are there. It appears, based on the text they use, this is officially meant to be like a pre-event to test out before they do real stuff next year. So, yeah. I hope it works well. I don't know, and I'm definitely not going to spend the time and effort to do it. I haven't even unboxed the BE I have, nor have I activated the intermediary shipping to have the other one sent. So we will see.
I'll get one eventually.
Yeah. Well, the one I have the Digivice VV, which is in the box. I haven't had time to do anything with it, and the 25th anniversary one is still at the intermediary.
I was thinking about getting the VV, but it kind of sucks in the anime, so I'm just like, okay, this kind of killed my...
Yeah, it's actually not...
Ghost Game doing exactly what it's supposed to, right?
Yeah, Ghost Game is
odd. Selling that thing, huh?
It's really not a good commercial for that thing. Like,
not at all.
Yeah. And then we have cards.
Never mind, this isn't cool.
So, first, before we do cards, someone asked something in the comments last time, so I thought I'd point out. The reason why the cards cycle through, and it's not me changing, is we're kind of just talking about them. So they're set to rotate because while talking about them, I'm not going to be able to pay attention to swap the cards like in any accurate form. So it's there so you can see everything while we talk about it. I'm sorry, it's not the exact thing we're talking about at the same time. Hey, look, it's Pinamon. That is a really nice perspective, by the way.
It
Burp.
is. I think the Puomon's a little too prominent in there, given how similar they look. It's hard to
Yeah,
tell who's
yeah. And the
like,
best
all
part,
right, we're supposed to look at the top one as
and
the
the best
focus
part
here.
for Pinamon, that appears to be a purpose style redraw of his profile art, which is a fun little touch. And then Falco, I gotta say Falcomon looks great here.
Well, yeah.
Ninja time.
Although god damn that watermelon head. Um, and then we get Pekmon and Yadagaramon, both stylistically the same thing. I like them. I don't find them super impressive though, to be honest.
They're fine.
Yeah.
Just keeping with the city motif.
And then we get Ravemon looking shockingly like Ravemon.
Also a burb.
Icto with that's the upgraded one, right?
Yes, that's the burst.
That's what
Yes.
I thought. For some reason, I'm not used to seeing him holding a thing that's like fully purple like that, and it like threw me off. Because wasn't his gray with purple highlights before it was upgraded?
I think so.
Yeah. And then we get Ame no Ahabiri, which is Ravemon jamming his sword into the ground. I will say, when we see the art like that, I have some trouble distinguishing if it's really detailed art or if it's actually like a render with art detailing added.
I see.
Because like it's just like this neat detailed style to it,
It's like, is this a 3D model or?
just like really well done shading. And then what will no doubt be one of the most popular cards in the set, Tamer card Yamato and Taichi. We've already seen this one, but I love what is making people upset about this card. Do you know?
It's Alter S?
No.
It's back to the reboot art.
No. Look at Alter S and look at the center color join up. They don't have him centered to where the center is on the card because they're centering it around the art of the kids.
Okay.
So a bunch of people are like looking at like the black line for his horn and how it doesn't line up with the color joining up top.
I can see that bothering a
Because what
lot
is
of
is
people.
what's centering? They're centering around the innermost part of each one's hair.
Yep.
Yeah. So good show art. And then Grey Knightsmon. I love this art, to be honest.
I'm glad Grey Knightsmon is getting some attention.
Yes. I just like how I don't think you even need Nightmon in the corner down there because it looks like he's busting through a wall or something if you don't pay attention. And I think that works better than what's actually happening in the card, don't you think?
Well, because like the text is covering so much of the other detail, it's
Yeah.
just.
Yeah. And then we get Gold Beastblade and Red Dragon Shot. I actually really like this art for Alter S and the other two. Although weirdly, you think it would be, it's not named after the actual attack, which is a bit odd.
Huh.
Yeah. And then we get Missymon and Gaussmon. I don't know why I find the Gaussmon art amazing. It's just this weird cartoony art of him running.
It's weird when there's only one of them.
Yes.
You just expect a whole flock of them to just scamper across a
And
field.
then the next,
It's like you only see a whole bunch of Shriekers, not just one.
Yeah.
Shrieker.
so this next one's amazing because it turns out a lot of Galmon fans don't know anything about the character. Or like, since when does Galmon have a bow? And that's always something he's had. He can put the swords together and do a light arrow. It turns out
Yeah, just like in Fate Stay Night.
yeah, that's 100% a thing he's always been able to do. And then we have his special move, Gaia Reactor. I feel like the art here is a little too cluttered, like for that card to like make clear what's happening because it looks like he's charging up his sword. He's supposed to be exploding like the environment. But I'm very
Yeah,
He looks like he's about to start a rock. He looks like he's about to start a rock concert.
yes. And then Alter B. think this means every Omegamon has a card now.
Well, that's a relief.
I give them credit for lasting for at this point 2 years and 8 months it took them to do every Omegamon. In fact, not counting parallel cards, I think the last time we saw normal Omegamon was Booster 5.
So what you're saying is they need to create another Omegamon.
Exactly.
Hey, we didn't get the gold one we were supposed to get.
Oh, that's right.
Kenji Watanabe deciding he was wrong is why we have Merciful Mode instead of Gold
Merciful mode.
Omegamon. Yeah. And then the best card in the set, Terriermon,
Yes.
eating burgers. And
I wish that were me.
then we get Black Galgomon and Black Rapidmon. We've seen these. These are much better previews. And then a formal preview for our friend Black Saint Galgomon.
He's,
It was
oh, he's
this first up.
Yep, we have to compliment this art. This is wonderful art.
Wonderful
We're not
art.
saying that no, we're not saying that under any kind of duress. We
Yes.
absolutely love the Black Saint Galgomon art. All respected Black Saint Galgomon.
See, now that the stream,
His toe beans.
now that the stream is working, at least for the moment. No, I'll fucking say it. It's evil that we actually got the real preview this week, and everything went wrong worse than before.
I can't believe you said that everything was working in the presence of Black Saint Galgomon.
I said for now. And then I like this Tamer card. Shenryu and Shuichan.
The implications of this card are staggering.
Am I wrong, or does this look better than the art they had on their own cards?
I think it is.
It does.
It looks it's just a nice twist a little out of nowhere.
Well,
considering the other ones.
My favorite part is we got the Yamato and Taichi card, and then as we started to get more Tamers cards, people got upset with themselves for not recognizing that we had a double Tamer card, and then we had all these multi pairs where you could see what was happening, and no one guessed double Tamer cards for anything. So that looked good.
I just can't wait for the Henry and Shuchan.
Yeah, God bless Bandai being worse for translations every day.
Gonna happen now, and it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. Then we get Skull Knightmon and Deadly Axemon. I have to be honest, I like the Skull Knightmon art. The Deadly Axemon art feels like it's trying to have too much happening.
Yeah.
It's just way too busy.
Now, am I wrong, or is he doing a spin move, but they aren't representing the spin that well?
I thought it was just kind of stampeding to the side.
See, but it looks like we're supposed to take it as him attacking Knightmon, so it feels like he has to be doing a move, like a spin or something.
Like a tiger knee, I don't know.
Maybe it'll be a little easier to tell what's going on without the text on it.
Yeah, and then Dark Knightmon while charging up trees and vortex. I don't know why I like this art so much. It just feels like it works really well.
The color is sexy.
The shading is really neat on this one.
And then a double Tamer card for Kiriha and Nene.
Yes.
I want this one so badly.
This is fantastic.
Yeah, art's great. And at this point, that means the 3 leads have each gotten 3 cards, I think. I'm trying to think if Taiki got one early that we forgot.
Because the one running to the side.
Well, no, that's a parallel card, though.
Are we not counting parallels?
No, because that's still the same card. It's just more art. Because they all got cards in the crossword set. Taiki got one in the Hunter crossover one last time, and now these 2 get this one. And then I have to say, I was really happy when they showed up last night. Gold Vidramon.
It's been so long.
And I don't know if it's an eclectic game reference or if it's actually a movie 3 reference. Because you see Evilly Cherubimon there. And, we get the gold light. This could be a weird movie 3 reference of him having evolved with the other Digimental.
I can see that.
That's It's a bit abstract, but yeah.
Oh no, it's absolutely abstract. It could also 100% be some random game reference I just don't remember.
Falcon Punch.
Yes. At one point, I was pulling up the early Vidramon cards because there was a Vidramon card where he's punching Triceramon based on V-Tamer, and I thought it might be a take on that, but they're wildly different. And then, so Dark Maeldramon's a good one to get. Am I wrong, or is this the cokiest art Koki has ever done?
It is so cokey. It is just.
It's just.
It looks like he painted the entire thing with.
Koki has
It's-
evolved to the next level. He's heard everyone's complaints and gone, "Fuck you! I'm doing it more."
Just flat out all watercolors.
Yeah.
It's like the artist for Kingdom Hearts, just like I keep adding more
Yes.
belts and zippers anytime someone bitches.
Yes.
His next set will be all finger painted.
And then Starter Deck 14 is out finally. And then we got all the clean images of that. We got to see the alternate parallel card that would show up sometimes rarely, and it's the same art but very purple.
It's so purple.
Yeah. And various recent promo cards. And then we got to see various card game announcements from Bandai's little stream. They showed the 3rd anniversary logo, which is Alphamon. I don't remember who was on the 2nd anniversary logo, to be honest.
Was it Imperial Dramon?
I remember the first was Omegamon. I don't remember the 2nd logo at all, to be quite honest.
Wait, I think it was Dukemon.
That would make sense. And then we got bullet points for Booster Set 13. It will have all 13 Royal Knights in it. It will have parallel cards of all 13 Royal Knights. It will have Yggdrasil 7d6. And it'll have content for those who want to build new Savers theme deck, with the teaser image being Burst Mode. We got to see.
Yeah.
We got to see a few previews for Reboot Set 1 Rising Wind, the pack art, which features new card art for Siriusmon, which they told us we would get Ghost Game junk in. And Bandai's Card Festival will be held at the same time as the Card Championship in February, with promo art that at no point has anything recognizable as Digimon in it. Now, I'm pretty sure those card backs are meant to be the back of the Digimon cards, but you can't really tell looking at them.
They're all random colors.
Yeah. And from a promo image they put up also, we know 4 cards will be getting reprints. One is the I forgot the name of it. One of those like power-up cards that had Agumon on it, Pico Devimon, an early Takeru card, and an early Omegamon card, as the prophecy foretold.
Yep.
Yeah. Fundigica just gave us the various Icto previews. Card Battle was where we got the Alter B previews, and they continued anime hero battles. This time, like a 2nd round. This time it was Shoutmon and Akumon. And then this is where the last few episodes have crashed, so we shall see. Reference book updates.
I think it's more on a clock. It would be more on a clock than on a.
Well, that's the
part
thing
of the show.
that's the thing. It wasn't the exact clock last time. It just happened to be the same position where we went into the Saturday night stuff. Just
Let's
coincidentally.
get into it then.
Yeah. So
it was after about 45 minutes, I think.
Yeah. So we have reference book update for Grey Knightsmon. Interesting thing a lot of people pointed out, this one has artistic flair that recent Cross Wars stuff hasn't. The little ink stuff is something that goes back to the early Cross Wars profile art, but the ones we've gotten in the last year or so have not had this. So it has a lot of people wondering, when was this made? Because this is a flair thing that like old Cross Wars art had, and the modern stuff does not have. So did they just add it for fun, or is this actually something that's been sitting around for 11 years or so at this point? In a few cases, we know they've done that, so it's interesting.
Yeah.
And then
it was from the damn Cross Wars video game.
Yes. And then a bit before the show, they added Shine Greymon Ruin Mode to the reference book with new art that makes him look kind of funky to me, to be honest. The pose, that feels like it doesn't work quite right. Let me throw that in the chat for those. It's kind of like he's bending backwards, like they're trying to do like a Bruce Timm thing, but it's not quite working. Like he's like,
I feel it's like,
no, but like look at like his leg, arm, and back position. It's like his back is bending backwards, kind of like a Bruce Timm thing.
I figured it was more like a Dio thing.
And am I wrong, or like is his neck larger?
Oh,
I
possibly.
think it's just because of the way
Perspective?
that the one shoulder spike
Okay,
is.
yeah,
It
fair
makes
enough.
it look funkier.
No, fair enough.
Oh yeah, I see
Yeah.
that.
And then some neat updates on the Ichiban Kuji lottery. Kaya
No,
Horiguchi
salty.
put up more of the prize image that prize they got. So I can pretty much guess what each of the prizes are because they said it was A, B, C, and E. E is the little like purse thing. I don't know what you call that.
Wallet? Clutch?
I
Something?
guess some type of clutch, I guess. Then the C prize is probably the Patamon plush. The B prize is probably the Tailmon plush. The A prize is
It's the best prize.
A prize is Agumon, and then the what I'm calling the quote unquote strawberry Agumon is the last one prize. For anyone who doesn't know how how the Ichiban Kuji stuff works, it's basically you buy the tickets, you open the tickets, it tells you what prize, and they give it to you from a convenience store in Japan, China, and so forth. If you take the last one, you actually get an additional prize, which is a prize that only that person gets, which is generally the top prize, but with different colors.
So when are we getting a reference book entry for this pink Agumon with the hat?
Never. But it will randomly show up in the background of an anime one day.
Yeah, they're not going to pass up the chance at a new Agumon for him.
Yeah.
Give it like 30 seconds before there's a Wikimon page for it.
It'll have, and the official design will have the hat.
And no doubt the entry will declare its level as being A, I know what the name of it will. The entry will be. Are you ready?
Ichigo Agumon.
Last one Agumon.
No, they don't want to last one until the next one Agumon.
Yeah. But yeah, and they noted they were very happy because stuff like the detailing of the little like treats and fruits and everything were like actually there from the art.
I want the goddamn kitty!
I will say for a C prize, the Patamon looks really nice. But yeah, I think the top one's definitely the Agumon one. I actually really like the Tailmon. The ears look better than a lot of Tailmon plushes to me.
Look at the eyes in the Tailmon though. The eyes really.
I think it could use some color separation, but the material they use seems to look nice to me.
It looks so velvety.
Well, you can fly to China to get it if you want, Dev.
I don't want to go to China.
And then Christmas art. I'm watching that little kilobit meter when I switch that over. It ain't crashing yet. The Christmas art this time features the Sistermon looking for Christmas cakes. The attached text reads, "The Sistermons came to Shortmon's cake shop. It is almost Christmas and they need to choose a cake. A Hackmon decorated whole cake, and Igamont Blanc. They all look so delicious, it's hard to decide what to choose. The Igamont Blanc is the best name joke we've had in a while. And the only part that bothers me, you could actually do it with any Digimon, and they missed the obvious one to do it with. Because the Mont Blanc is sesame seeds, isn't it?
Oh God!
I think it's like a sesame seed candy paste. So it should have been a Gomamon Blanc.
Gomamon, yeah.
Yes.
That's terrible.
Unless I'm wrong, but I believe that is in fact a sesame seed
if
paste.
You're gonna do a Mont Blanc pun, you should just do Mon Blanc.
See, but here's the
That's
thing:
what I
they have the idea now. They can just do it 1,000 times. And then profile art for the cat,
cat.
Bastimon. Do we have any
High quality.
Yeah. And now time for questions. You guys in the chat can throw yours up. And the first one we have from Diego. His was a twofer. One, he was going to try to learn an electric guitar, and he was also thinking about getting a tattoo before he's too old, and it is quote unquote cringe. So we'll do the second one first because it's easier. He was thinking crest around his arm or a crest of kindness over his quote unquote man boob for the tattoo. What were our suggestions? I think whatever you're comfortable getting.
Yeah.
And knowing that it's going to be with you.
You can, yeah, and you can never, if you're committed to a Digimon tattoo, you can never go wrong with a crest. Like, that's pretty solid.
That's the pretty solid
standard. It's an easy go-to.
Now, for see, if you had just said guitar, I could, like, acoustic options feel like very high. Electric guitar, learning song, I'm trying to think, like, what would be the good start of a song to learn?
I read once that Braveheart's chord progression is pretty common with anime music, and that might help you. Like, if you can get Braveheart nailed down, I don't know how hard it would be to do on guitar, but if you can get that one nailed down, it kind of opens the doors for learning some other anime songs. Just a thought.
I believe I've heard that also, actually. And since we're talking about music, we should also bring up Ichiro Miyazuki died. And here's the thing: if you don't know who he is, you have to look him up because literally you do not get Watakoji. You don't get Ayumi Miyazaki. Basically, every rock type anime singer grew up with him as their hero. Half of them sing with him, sing duets with him, sing in groups with him. It is not even like we mean he was kind of based on. We mean no. Every single one of them wanted to be him. It is hard to find an anime singer who is not inspired by him.
The influence is very heavy and it runs deep.
Yes. Like, you do not get Digimon music without him. And multiple people even point out him and Watakoji sang together at events a lot. Yeah, basically almost.
And we lost both of them.
Yeah, that's a big one. He sung so much before any of us were even born. Like, he was already like a huge he was already a multi-generational music star when we were born. But yeah, as they are saying, Braveheart's probably where you want to start, unless there's a specific song you want to start with. Yeah. Sora wants to know, have we seen your boy Kongming? I know it's supposed to be very good. I have rarely have the time to deal with anime. I'm not watching for work.
I have also heard it was very good, but again, no time to watch anything, pretty much.
No.
Yeah. And then someone wants to know, what disc that I worked on, not including Digimon's, the best example of a crazy quality disc? I like to imagine this is someone who was going to buy it to see how it was, but they didn't say that. I think the cheat answer is just saying Eiko.
Yeah.
Like, that's a full remaster that does not exist anywhere else in the world still. The number of extras is insane. It's just at this point, it's the quintessential, oh my god, what the fuck did everyone at Discotheque do disc.
It went balls to the walls.
Yes, that is a once in a lifetime disc for everyone. That was able to happen 10 times over. Let's see. Ian wants to know, what are our favorite non-Digimon roles for Digimon dub voice actors? Oh man, there's
many.
I'm gonna go with the cheat answer: Spike Spiegel, Steve Blum.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the obvious.
That's.
I was trying to think of something besides that.
That's not my top answer. I'm just taking the cheat answer this time. I normally let one of you guys take it.
Like,
That's
if you were to pull anime fans, that would be the consensus winner.
yes.
Ooh.
I keep
I know
keep
it's
wanting to
something
have
Richard Epcar did.
Epcar
that's
does a
good.
lot because his
Yeah.
Jigen's very good.
His Jigen's good, his Bato's good.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to have the joke answer of Mako's actress does Donald Duck in an episode of DuckTales, but I've brought that up many times before. I just am
Yeah.
fascinated by that. It's not so much best performance, although she did
God,
get the
I
got
just
the Rusty Taylor voice really
see, but
well.
you could pick Haruhi or Kanata for Wendy Lee.
You could.
Like the issue with
Actually,
finding
yeah.
the issue with finding a real answer.
I think the entire
or
Haruhi cast has been in
yes,
Digimon by now,
they
because
have.
Johnny Young Bosch is with Johnny Young Bosch doing TK and Try. I think that
But
covers all of
Crispin
them.
Freeman as Kyon, like
Yeah.
here's the issue. Digimon actors have done so much that
They get around.
that it would take us hours to even pare down what we would really like choose. It's just there's too much.
Yeah.
Sora wants to know. Sora, I do not know it. It sounds like an AMV. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's an AMV or a random YouTube video, which none of us have time for. To be honest.
I think it's an AMV. I think I've heard of it before. Which, I mean, credit to AMV. Like, Digimon AMVs are good. Digimon AMVs are hard to come by.
Well, they'll happen more with Adventure having discs that don't look bad.
Let's hope so.
It helps. Someone wants to know, do we have any idea what some people have meant when they say the Digimon card game is dying? We've said it before. Well, there's two things. The first is card game fans are very fickle and they freak out at any change. Any new card set, you're going to get a wave of people going, the game's over, man, it's over, it's terrible now. They don't know what the... And then,
as long as they keep coming out with new cards, it ain't over.
Yeah. And then the second one is, I swear I saw more people putting up junk YouTube videos, the Digimon card game isn't dying, than I actually saw people trying to claim that, the game was going to end because of problems. I
don't know what's more
I just
annoying.
don't pay attention to YouTube.
YouTube videos of really crappy Digimon takes, or YouTube videos reacting to really crappy Digimon takes.
I didn't even see them on YouTube.
Which is worse?
I saw them in generic Digimon searches on Twitter, and it's like, Jesus Christ,
either YouTube or Reddit, it's all the same.
I assume it has something to do with that. At that card game event, they announced yet another new Bandai card game. And this time it's a big anime crossover one with everything Bandai could get a hold of except One Piece and Digimon, which have their own card games.
Yeah.
So Bleach, Hunter, Sword Art Online. I don't know. It just had a bunch of different stuff.
I thought there was already a card game.
I thought so too, but
I think a lot of that was stuff showing up in Battle Spirits and other card games.
Yes, I just generally assume that SAO has everything by now.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, if we were able to... here's a good one from Ruby. If we were able to choose the Digimon theme for the next BE memory, what would we want to choose?
I thought we already did this before.
Theme?
Like last...
I think we did this for dim cards, but I think we did this like a year ago.
No, we did like a BE one. Remember, I suggested Dark Masters.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember that conversation.
I don't remember it, but I thought of a good one. I would want it to be based around stuff like Agumon Hakase and Terriermon Joshu.
Digimon with jobs.
Yes, base it around like the weird eclectic Digimon that are based on actual ones. So you get Bushi Agumon.
Bushi.
Yeah. One of the unlockable ones would be Santa Agumon.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although I don't think that's an actual Digimon. I think that's just something that shows up and everyone calls it Santa Agumon.
He was in the Digi window, I think.
Oh, okay, then he was. Okay, my mistake. For some reason, I figured that was just like a name everyone made up, or was on social media.
Like it was just some little stupid
Okay.
one-off thing.
Okay, here's an amazing question from Ramon. We had 2 recent cat episodes for Ghost Game. When are we getting the dog episode?
When they get more dog Digimon.
You know who, honestly, it feels like they could do an episode around easily?
Doggymon?
Dogmon?
I was gonna say Galmon.
I mean,
But yeah.
he'd fit right in with Ghost Game's usual.
Here's the
The
issue
thing
I have.
is, the problem with a Galmon episode is like, yes, we'd love to see Galmon again. It would
Is
probably
he
be
haunting
kind
a
of
boxing ring?
it would be a lame episode.
Well,
It feels like
that kind of
I
like
just-
stops us from doing anything with Ghost Game.
yeah, it just doesn't seem like a great. It just the mentality doesn't seem like. I don't know if Galmon could carry a Ghost Game episode.
So,
Dogmon could carry a Ghost Game
Here's why I
episode.
don't want Dogmon. I feel like Dogmon, we already have the expectation of what the episode will be.
Wacky races?
Yeah, it needs to be, and we kind of already got Wacky Races recently.
We have a wacky Races episode in front
Yeah,
here.
I feel like Dogmon, it needs to either just be stupid comedy or Wacky Races or a combination therein.
Or he could be Scrappy.
Oh no!
Yeah, I would.
No!
Oh no! I got it. Okay. For like science fiction and other stuff, are you guys familiar with the episode plot where there's just a new character there, and like everyone's been brainwashed to think they've always been there?
Yes.
Dogmon is just part of the gang.
Didn't they do that with Betsumon already though?
No. I don't mean thinking they're Gamamon. I mean Betsumon as like is just there, and it's just treated as like a Ryudomon or like an Espimon. Where like it's just a friend they found.
He's just always been there.
Yes, it's just a friend they found along the way. Minus that like they never talk about how they met him or anything about him. He's just there, and they all know he's there, and he's trying to convince them to do stuff.
He's going
Let's
on
go to
mysteries
our
with
favorite ice cream shop.
Yes, like that would be a great Dogmon episode.
That would be a good Dogmon episode.
Sora wants to know, would we like to see a new Digimon anime game for adults? I mean, they've done that. That's what Try and Kazuna's been. Literally everyone who complains about that wants Atmon, and Atmon's 100% like the little kid show.
At the same time, my answer is yes. I like Try and Kazuna. I want more of that.
No, so do I. But like the people who claim they want that, when they get it, they're like, no, this show's better. And the show they say is better is the one for 6-year-olds. Because they don't actually want an adult show. They want Atmon, but with blood.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of the Try haters just ignored Atmon completely. But
oh, they do. But like Ghost Game is a very little kid show with superficial blood and violence, and those people love it.
They ignore that. I think they ignore Ghost Game too, but
yeah. This is the last chance for questions in the chat. The last one someone sent in. Someone was wondering what games and movies we might try and spend time with over the holidays.
I still need to catch up on Pokemon Violet because all my friends are well ahead of me, and I've had a chance to put in like a whole 4 hours since I bought the damn thing in November.
I gotta go through my Steam backlog. I know there's a couple games on there that I need to get to for sure.
I'm trying to.
Oh, and I want to play Oregon Trail.
The new one, you mean, or like the original?
Yeah, on Switch. I want to play the new one.
I am trying to get through everything I need to get through because tomorrow, the pseudo half remaster, half remake of Crisis Core comes out.
Oh.
And I have that pre-ordered for Steam, and I'll play that on the Steam Deck. And I'm so close to being done with work for the year, and then I have plenty of time to beat the game, play it, and everything. And movies, I want to watch the Del Toro Pinocchio film.
Yeah,
I heard that was very good.
That. Yeah.
I've heard that's very good. That's one of those where when I'm done with work, at some point, I have a couple other things to do, and this weekend, I will try to sit down and watch that because that's supposed to be really fucking good. Oh, and the cheat answer, because I think all three of us were looking forward to it. Weren't we all looking forward to Glass Onion?
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
It's not out. It's out 2 days before Christmas.
The Knives Out sequel. I think it's technically considered a sequel to Knives Out.
Because the Bonnet. I can't say his fucking name. Bonnet Blanc. The detective with the
Daniel Craig.
James Bond. I thought you were
Yeah.
looking forward to it, Dev. Did you not see the first one?
No.
It's very good. First one's
Yeah,
very good.
Knives Out's very good, and early reviews from the limited theatrical run suggest Glass Onion's better.
Wow.
And that's like
That's interesting.
Like I took my dad to see Knives Out before Christmas when it came out, and he still raves about that movie. So I'm really looking forward to Glass Onion because I really did like it. And let's see, what were the last few questions here? Do we play Monster Hunter? I have it installed on the Steam Deck. I have not played any Monster Hunter. I have what's the most recent one everyone likes? Rise, which was kind of cartoony
Rise?
on the Switch. I bought that. I have the
I think
DLC. It's installed on the
Stories
Switch.
was the cartoony one.
No. I mean, when I say cartoony, I don't mean like the full cartoony. I mean like they made it more cartoony for the Switch because it would be able to do realistic graphics.
Ah.
And it recently had DLC that was like Sunburst or something. I
Yeah,
think
that's Rise. I think.
Okay, yes, I have that. It's on Steam Deck. I just have not played it yet. I think when I had time, it was like 80 gigs or something to install. So I installed it. I did not play it. And that looks to be it for questions. AR, what have you done? What shall you do?
I took family photos over the weekend is what I did. I've been doing pre-holiday stuff basically. But you can find me on
Did that go
First
smooth?
Agent. Yeah, no, it went fine.
Okay,
it was
good.
in the woods in 30-degree weather, which was a choice. But no, it went okay. I've been
Suffering for the aesthetic.
I occasionally have been creating some memes and stuff on my Tumblr, firstagent.tumblr.com. I had one from the previous week's episode. I've been creating some random stuff, so every so often you'll catch me putting stuff on there.
And Dev, what Wikimon article would you like people to read?
Black Saint Galgomon.
Also, I would like to point out, I called all three of us fucking idiots for not catching something. Which alternate would we want to see the most in the card? And when Dev said Omekamon, we all went, oh, that's perfect. Don't need any other answers. We should have gone with Citramon.
Yes.
I got so distracted by Omekamon.
You said want to see.
What was that? Sorry, I missed that.
You said want to see.
I want Citramon.
I fucking want Citramon.
I want Citramon legitimized so badly.
I would also. I would like it there just to like bother people, frankly.
Just to squeeze juice in the eyes of the haters.
Yeah.
First.
I can make them tart and sour.
I can be found at With the Will as always. We will catch you guys next week, hopefully with stuff working.
We got through this one.
So
yes, but I have hardware acceleration turned off on Windows. That is not a long-term solution.
I mean, it just has to last an hour and a half at the most.
You're not wrong. The issue is to turn that on and off actually requires a full reboot. That isn't like you can just click it and then it happens. That is, you have to do a full reboot and pull it. I have to then pull everything back up for the show. It's technically a solution. It's not a great one, but we will see. We will catch you guys all next time. Bye.
Sunday, you said you were thinking?
We're probably going to do Sunday. We were thinking Tuesday, okay. But what I was going to do Sunday isn't happening, so Sunday is probably more convenient.
Okay.
So we're thinking we're likely going to do this Sunday. We will catch you guys all next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.